world leaders are rallying their countries against Donald Trump. We're seeing national unity like never before in many countries as they stand up to the bully regime known as the Trump administration. Case in point, President Claudia Sheinbaum in Mexico, who now has an 85% approval rating for standing up against Donald Trump. And over the past 48 hours, she was in Mexico City celebrating with the people of her country, over 35,000 people in the town square celebrating how they stood up to Donald Trump, made him back down, and did not submit their sovereignty at all. Watch this.
Our people cannot be affected by decisions made by foreign governments or hegemonies. But we are very clear that there are non-negotiable principles. We cannot yield our sovereignty, nor can our people be affected by decisions made by foreign governments or hegemonies. In that case, we will always act immediately. However, we must stay alert and informed in case it is necessary to gather here in this public square again. Do you agree?
Just take another look at just this crowd that was assembled. This is the crowd that Donald Trump wished that he could have, and President Claudia Sheinbaum leading Mexico in the face of Donald Trump's bullying tactics. Play this clip. We're seeing the same thing in Canada as well. I think a graceful transfer of power from Prime Minister Trudeau to the new interim PM, Mark Carney. We covered that over the weekend, but I want to share this with you as well. A former Prime Minister of Canada giving an incredible speech right here at the Liberal Party gathering over the weekend. Here he gives the United States an incredible history lesson. This was directed specifically, though, at Donald Trump and Trump's regime. Let's play it.
And perhaps, speaking of the president, it is time for a little history lesson for him. Probably does not realize that in 1776, Benjamin Franklin spent a year in Montreal trying to convince the people to join the American Revolution. And he was told by the Francophone, non merci. And they were right. Look what happened to the French language in Louisiana. The Loyalists left the USA to come back to Upper Canada and the Atlantic. And the Francophone and Lower Canada, together they built our independent country. During the War of 1812, Americans came to what is known Canada on a mission of conquest. They were defeated by Colonel de Salaberry in what is now Quebec, and by leaders like the great indigenous chief Tecumseh in what is now Ontario. And I don't know, apparently some burned the White House at that time.
And I had also shared with you this clip, but it's worth showing you after former Prime Minister Crochet to show you Mark Carney what he had to say as he accepted the leadership role of the Liberal Party. He's going to be the interim prime minister. There will be elections held in Canada soon. And now the Liberal Party, based on all the polling, is expected to win, but they're rallying the people of the country, uniting Canadians. Watch interim Prime Minister Carney, or soon to be interim Prime Minister Carney, play this clip.
America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look, we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Now, we're seeing world leaders again throughout stand up. Let me mention this. So President Zelensky's approval rating, remember when Donald Trump tried to demean, all he does is try to demean President Zelensky and prop up Putin. But he said Zelensky's approval rating was at like 4%. Zelensky's approval rating is now closer to 70% as the people of Ukraine have rallied around Zelensky. President Emmanuel Macron of France, his popularity is seeing a surge. People supporting Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the UK. He showed his statesmanship, bringing people together in the UK, bringing Europe together. The European countries also are all going to be holding a meeting. I think about 30 countries, European countries and other democracies throughout the world. They are not inviting the United States. Stay away from the US. Is the message from Europe, Canada, and others. The Greenland Prime Minister out of Nuuk is saying no to Donald Trump. As Donald Trump makes posts like this, Trump wrote, "As I made clear during my joint address, the United States strongly supports the people of Greenland's right to determine their own future. We will continue to keep you safe, as we have since World War II. We are ready to invest billions of dollars to create new jobs and make you rich. And if you so choose, we welcome you to be part of the greatest nation anywhere in the world, the United States of America." So let me get this straight. As Donald Trump is tanking the United States economy, as Donald Trump is taking away people's Medicaid and healthcare in the United States, as Elon Musk is calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme, as Trump and Musk are attacking veterans, firing veterans, firing the spouses of veterans, attacking 9/11 first responders, taking out lunches from schools, gutting the Department of Education, gutting the NIH and CDC, as measles is spreading throughout the United States. Donald Trump saying to the people of Greenland, we're going to make you rich. And the people of Greenland are not buying it at all. The Prime Minister of Greenland says, the recent things that the American president has done mean that you don't want to get as close to the U.S. as you might have wanted in the past. We need to draw a line in the sand and spend more effort on those countries that show us respect for the future we want to draw. Right? Very similar to the statements by President Claudia Sheinbaum as well. Respect, sovereignty, stand up to this bully regime. And what, Donald Trump thought that all of these world leaders and nations would just fold like these spineless Republicans did to his bullying tactics? No, Donald Trump, the rest of the world and lots of Americans are not like these spineless MAGAs who are like the kind of North Korea politicians who clap for dear leader Kim Jong-un. Real strength is often exercised in the silence and the reservation of actually using that strength until you gotta go over the boards and finally gotta go elbow up to knock down a bully. It was once called the big stick policy. You walk soft or speak soft and you carry a big stick. You actually show you can get things done and exercise power, but you do so with discretion. You don't bloviate and whine and complain. But when push comes to shove, when Donald Trump says, oh, hell's going to break loose, I'm going to do this, he blinks like the cornered rat that he is. No offense to cornered rats who, frankly, I think deserve more respect than how Donald Trump's been behaving lately. Let's just take a look at some people in Greenland. This is from AFP News Agency. I think they do a good job here highlighting some of the people in Greenland discovering their national pride. Play this clip.
The way that Trump has put us into a world context has very much spoken into my personal understanding of my national identity. More now than ever am I sure of who I am, and I'm definitely not American.
This one's from the Associated Press of Greenlanders who have been in the spotlight since Donald Trump keeps on attacking them and saying he wants to annex them. And they're saying, no, we don't want Donald Trump and the U.S. taking us over. Play this clip.
I'm here in Nuuk, in the capital of Greenland, because the world's largest island has received global attention more than ever before. This is because Donald Trump has said that it would seize it and has not ruled out seizing it by force. Greenlanders, the majority of them are Inuit, and they feel that their traditions must be respected. They do not want to be Danish. They do not want to be American. They want to be Greenlandic.
He will never ever buy Greenland. But then when his son arrived here, it was like a realization moment. The words are no longer just words. They're now the reality. It's like the biggest awakening for everyone in Greenland.
The most important thing for Greenland and for the whole world is not to militarize the Arctic like the US is trying to do. What we need is to protect Greenland.
And really, I mean, just think about the conduct and behavior by the authoritarian Trump regime and its authoritarian stooges. You've got Elon Musk calling Democratic Congress member Mark Kelly a veteran, an Air Force pilot, an astronaut, someone who's given his military service to the United States, because Senator Mark Kelly said, "Just left Ukraine. What I saw proved to me we can't give up on the Ukrainian people." Elon Musk responds, "You're a traitor." To which Democratic Senator Mark Kelly says, "Elon, if you don't understand that defending freedom is a basic tenet of what makes America great and keeps us safe, maybe you should leave it to those of us who do." Meanwhile, Marco Rubio saying that Ukraine must give up its territory in any peace deal with Russia. Quote, "There's no military solution. U.S. must be ready to make difficult concessions, just as Russia must," as retired General Ben Hodges, a friend of the MeidasTouch Network, writes, "Dear Secretary Rubio, of course there's a military solution, especially when combined with economic pressure, but you haven't even tried. In fact, this administration is doing the opposite, giving all of the cards to Russia." As Jay in Kyiv, really love his account. He covers everything, all the developments very diligently there. He writes, "Now that Trump removed Ukraine's intelligence feeds in the Kursk region, Russians are going all out trying to genocide Ukrainians and kill Ukrainians. Plan seems to have been that Trump was going to deliver that region to Putin. Russian forces are intensifying their offensive in the Kursk region, forcing Ukrainian troops to retreat while targeting bridges in and around Sudza. The U.S. has restricted Ukraine's free access to Maxar satellite imagery. Russia double-tap strike on these areas as a result of Trump's cowardice and Trump allowing Russia to do this." As Jay in Kyiv writes, "Trump's job for Putin was total destruction of the U.S., its trade alliances, credibility, defense industry, defense alliances, financial markets, and hand him Ukraine. He's doing all of them, and some Americans still can't face it. Until you face it, you can't stop it." This from the Kyiv Post. New intel shows Russian officials believe the U.S. has already agreed to all of Kremlin's demands about turning over Ukraine to Moscow and stopping Ukraine from ever joining NATO. And meanwhile, you have Elon Musk going on Fox and blaming Ukraine for the hack on X, formerly Twitter, which there's absolutely no evidence about, which, as Jay in Kyiv points out, the old fascists needed a reason to turn off Ukraine's Starlinks for Putin. And here it is. Play this clip.
Position, what are you doing in the government? There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced.
Yes.
It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Well, so that's your suspicion. Is the website
As Matthew Iglesias, great reporter, writes, the real origin of the Ukraine war is that the runaway success of Poland's economy is a clear formula that Ukraine wanted to imitate by launching the process of joining the European Union, an outcome Putin deemed intolerable. Look at the latest IMF World Economic Outlook of Poland overtaking the Japanese GDP per capita next year. And also, I think it's important to note as well that a lot of the economic forecasters now actually predict European growth in 2026 and 2027, while America crashes. Why? One reason, Donald Trump. I guess 2 reasons. Elon Musk. I guess 3 reasons. Spineless MAGA Republicans. I guess 4 reasons. Fox Propaganda Network. That's what's going on. Europe's growing. Other world economies are actually doing great. America's economy is crashing because no one wants to do business with these idiot maniac Trump regime people. It's ridiculous. So the world is uniting in different ways, rallying their people against Trump. That's what we're seeing. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Let's try to get there this month. It's free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So if you can subscribe, please hit subscribe now.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.